I can't wait to meet your fiancé. I'm really looking forward to it. I just can't wait to come back home and see you all. Oh, yeah, I feel the same way. You know, he's aware that I'm a company president's daughter, but I don't think he has any idea that the company president is actually you. It's going to be a great surprise for him. I just hope that the new information doesn't all go to his head or anything. Oh, that's true. Since you've been overseas the entire time he's been working there, you probably don't know much about him. So what kind of person is he? How should I put it? He's kind of a carefree, playful type, but deep down he's really serious and honest, I think. And he has quite a few hobbies that he's into back at home, which I'm sure he'll tell you about. Oh, is that so? Well, that doesn't sound bad at all. Still, you used to gush about celebrities you liked, and every single one of them turned out to be involved in some scandal, either infidelity or tax evasion. So we'll see what this one's like. Are you saying I have no eye for people? That is a totally different matter. I can't help but being a little worried, you know. I mean, these days it's hard to believe that a man who's playful on the surface but serious and honest underneath even exists. That's just because you haven't met one, Mom. And let's not forget, you ended up marrying a pretty terrible man yourself. He cheated on you all the time, and he even tried to tamper with the finances of your business. You're absolutely right. My husband was trash, but don't forget you inherited half of that trash's genes. What kind of mother says that to her daughter? Seriously. Anyway, don't trust too much, not just men. Trusting anyone too much never leads to anything good. Well, coming from you, that's hard to argue with. But Rich is fine. I'm sure I can trust him. Oh, is that so? Well, if things go south, you can always just break it off. Honestly, I think it's fine to get married first and see how it goes. Wow, that's a pretty lighthearted attitude to have about marriage. Of course, marriage isn't the ultimate goal in life. Whether it's work or marriage, the ability to move on quickly is what really matters. Got it. I'll keep that in mind. See you next week then. Be safe on your way back. Sure thing. You take care too.
Excuse me, are you Maggie, the new temp? Starting with our department today, right?
Yes, I'm Maggie. Nice to meet you. I'll do my best, so I appreciate your guidance.
I like your enthusiasm. It's great to be so energetic, but, try not to overstep too much, okay?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I've been watching you all morning. You've got this overly confident, almost arrogant vibe going on. As a temp, you might want to tone that down a bit, you know?
What? Really? I didn't mean to come across that way at all.
Look, if I'm saying you seem full of yourself, then just accept it. By the way, do you know who I am? I'm the next company president.
What? Really?
Yeah, so you'd better act appropriately. Remember, I can fire you whenever I want, Maggie.
Wait a minute, I don't think you actually have that authority.
Huh? Didn't I just say I'm the next president? Of course I have the power to fire a temp like you. Don't underestimate me.
About being the next president, what exactly do you mean by that?
I'm engaged to the company president's daughter, that's what. So it's obvious I'll be the next president, get it?
That's it?
What do you mean, that's it?
Well, don't you have, an official recommendation or some other concrete basis for your claim?
What's your problem? Are you trying to say I'm just being cocky for no reason? I'm highly regarded in this company. My performance is excellent too. Even based on merit, I'm clearly suited to be the next president.
Is that so? But hasn't it only been about 3 years since you joined?
Shut up, you old hag! What would you know about business? How long someone's been here doesn't matter. This company values skill, okay?
Uh-huh.
And another thing, business is all about connections. Marrying the president's daughter gives me unparalleled connections. That makes me the future president. You, on the other hand, are just a temp, so go make me some tea.
Sure, I'll bring it to you.
Don't keep me waiting. I'll be in the break room. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should just go hang out in the president's office.
Huh? Why would you do that?
Because I'm the next president, duh. And the current president is technically my future mother-in-law. I have every right to use the president's office.
You really shouldn't do that.
Then why should I listen to you? Besides, the president is overseas right now. Isn't it better if I put the office to good use? So go bring the tea to the president's office. Got it?
Are you sure about this? You're about to discover something unbelievable.
What could possibly be so unbelievable? You temps are always spouting nonsense.
Even if I'm just a temp, I don't think it's acceptable for you to talk to me like this.
Oh, what do you want, an apology? Sorry, but I don't have a habit of apologizing to old hags.
But if other employees find out about this...
Then go ahead and snitch. Between the star performer of the company and some temp who just started today, whose side do you think they'll take?
But I have proof of this conversation.
Oh yeah? Go for it. Try reporting me. I dare you. Just remember, I'm the next president. I have immense power. Whatever complaint you file, I'll crush it and fire you. And at your age, finding another job isn't going to be easy, is it?
You are awful.
Glad we're clear on that. Now just do as I say. The one with power always wins in the end. So bring that tea to the president's office. Got it?
Yes, I understand.
What's with the sniffles? Jeez, you're pathetic. Hey, what's going on here? Why is there a picture of you hanging in the CEO's office?
Ah, so you've finally entered the CEO's office then?
Yeah, this is the CEO's office. What the heck is that? Wait, don't tell me. Are you one of those people who admires the CEO so much that you're pretending to be them? You probably hung up your own picture in there to imagine what it feels like to be the boss, right?
There's no need to imagine. I am the CEO. I already know exactly what it feels like to be in charge every single day.
Wait, are you serious right now? You're actually convinced you're the CEO of this company?
From any perspective, I'm undeniably the CEO. It's not a matter of belief, it's a matter of fact.
Oh wow, this is next level delusional. I think I need to keep my distance. You're so far gone into fantasy land, it's actually scary.
If you apologize right now, I might consider forgetting this little misunderstanding. How about it?
Why would I need to apologize? You gotta be kidding me. Wow, lady, you're unbelievable. Talking to you is like trying to reason with a brick wall.
I think the one who's not making sense here is you. I have told you repeatedly, I am the CEO of this company.
There's no way I'm buying that nonsense. Enough with your ridiculous fantasies already.
In that case, I'll send you proof.
What? What is this photo? It's a picture of you and Ari together?
Yes, this is a selfie Ari and I took. It was taken right before I left for an overseas trip, at the airport to be specific.
Wait a minute. No, this can't be real. There's no way this is real, right?
What exactly are you talking about?
There's no way you're actually the CEO of this company and Ari's mother on top of that, right?
That's exactly what I've been telling you all along. Now you understand why my picture is displayed in the CEO's office, don't you?
This can't be happening. No, this is too much. Seriously, this is insane, right? It's totally insane.
Oh, absolutely. I'd say that your current situation is extremely precarious.
Why were you pretending to be a temp employee?
Obviously, I wanted to see what kind of man my daughter's fiancé really is. I created the persona of a temp worker, Maggie, to get close to you. And the result? Absolutely terrible.
Wait, hold on. If I had known you were the CEO, I never would have acted like that.
The fact that you treat temp workers so poorly is already a massive red flag. That is not something you can just excuse away.
No, please. I understand how bad this looks. Let's just forget this ever happened, okay?
Excuse me?
Harry and I should still get married. I'll stay on as the rising star of this company and lead it to success. How about that?
Are you being serious right now?
Yes, I'm always serious. Please, let's just move past this incident like it never occurred.
Interesting. If that's your honest proposal, do you really think I'd agree to it?
Please, I'm begging you. I need you to approve this.
You're quite an amusing man, I'll give you that. You've piqued my interest a little.
Wait, does that mean...
But my answer is no. Sorry to disappoint you.
No way! Can't you reconsider? Please, there must be something I can do.
There is absolutely nothing to reconsider. You are not suitable as a member of this company, and even less so as my daughter's fiancé.
No! I'm begging you, please! Isn't there any way to change your mind?
How many times do I have to say no? You are being incredibly persistent. You're a fascinating individual to observe from a distance, but I wouldn't want you as part of my family.
But I truly love Harry! That's why... Please, make me the CEO!
You're not even making sense anymore. Are you panicking, or was your goal all along to use Siri to become the CEO?
No, that's not it at all. It's just, I have an incredibly strong desire to lead this company. I know I can be an amazing CEO. I truly believe that.
This conversation is completely derailed. I think we're done here. Now pack up your things and get out of here immediately.
You can't be serious. Please, wait. I've been a valuable asset to this company. I've achieved so much here. How can you just discard me so easily?
To be honest, I've wanted to say this for a while. Your sales performance is the lowest in the entire department.
No way!
You might have fooled a temp worker with your lies, but do you really think you can deceive the CEO?
I see. I guess I assumed you wouldn't know because you've been overseas for so long.
Well, honesty is a good trait to have. Ari was right, you really are a bit of a smooth talker.
Really? Does that mean you'll approve of the marriage after all?
I can't believe how disconnected from reality you are. Ari must have truly poor judgment to think you're a serious and sincere man. It's almost laughable.
Wait, Harry said that about me?
Yes, she described you as reliable and trustworthy. Clearly, she couldn't have been more mistaken.
Harry! Harry, listen to me. Something terrible is happening right now. Your mother has completely misunderstood me.
Misunderstood? What do you mean?
I mean, you know how I am. Serious, responsible, and totally dependable, right? Despite all of that, your mom somehow got it into her head that I'm nothing but a lowlife.
A misunderstanding, huh? I don't think so. I've seen the messages between you and my mom. She showed them to me, and you know what? She is absolutely right. You are a lowlife.
Wait, hold on. You're taking this all wrong. It wasn't like that. You see, I just assumed she was some temp worker.
And that's the problem. Treating someone poorly because you think they're a temp worker is completely unacceptable. And let's not forget why you approached me in the first place. You were only after my family's company, weren't you? That's why you got close to me. You wanted to climb the ladder, but you didn't even know my mom was the CEO because I hid that from you.
No, it's not like that, I swear. I only found out by coincidence. This is all just one big misunderstanding, I promise.
It doesn't matter whether it's a misunderstanding or not. Either way, I can't imagine marrying someone like you. That's it. I am ending our engagement.
Harry, no! Please, you have to hear me out. I love you. I really, truly love you. You're the only person I want to be with. Please, I'm begging you. Talk to your mom for me. Convince her that my love for you is genuine.
If your love is genuine, shouldn't you be convincing me of that first? Why are you more concerned about getting my mother's approval than mine?
Well, that's because...
Because you're just trying to get back into her good graces so you can stick around at the company, aren't you? You know what? I've had it. This is the last straw. Goodbye.
Wait, please, Harry. I know I made a mistake, but I promise I'll never make that mistake again. I'll change. Just give me another chance.
A mistake? That wasn't a mistake. You just showed your true nature. Don't even bother contacting me again. You're a lost cause.
Harry, wait! Come back! Sylvia, where are you right now? Please, I'm begging you, give me a chance to make things right. I'll get down on my knees and apologize if that's what it takes.
I'm already on my way home. I need to focus on taking care of Ari. As for you, you're fired. Pack your things and leave immediately.
Fired? You can't do this to me. If I lose this job, I'm finished. If my parents find out I got fired, I don't even want to think about what will happen.
Oh? And what exactly will happen if your parents find out?
They'll disown me, probably. My family's incredibly strict. They worked hard to pay for my expensive university tuition. If they find out their son got fired from a company like this, I'll be cut off for sure.
I see. That does sound tough.
Wait, tough? What do you mean by that?
Well, since you've been so insistent and persistent, I took the liberty of contacting your parents myself. After all, they were listed as your emergency contact. I figured it was only right to keep them informed.
What? You called them?
That's correct. Your parents know everything now. Sorry if that's inconvenient for you. But I think this might be a good opportunity for you to reflect on your actions.
No, this can't be happening. My life is over. I've done so much for this company.
Your sales performance was the worst in the entire company.
Sure, but it's more like an honorary worst, you know? Oh no, my parents are already calling me. This is a disaster. What am I supposed to do? I still live at home.
And? What does that have to do with anything?
If they kick me out, I'll have nowhere to go. How am I supposed to survive? Sylvia, don't you care about that?
First of all, don't call me Sylvia. Second, I couldn't care less about what happens to you after this. You brought this entirely upon yourself.
This can't be real. I'm only in my 20s. I had dreams of becoming a CEO by now. And yet here I am, about to be unemployed, homeless, and completely out of options. Wait, who's that?
Who's what? Have you finally lost your mind?
No, I mean, someone just came into the CEO's office.
Oh, and now you've got another scheme in mind, haven't you?
You'll see.
Wait, what are you planning to do now? This better not be something stupid. What have you done?
Well, I just wanted to experience what it feels like to be the president, you know. I acted as if I were the president's stand-in and showed them a picture of me and Ari together. They completely bought it.
Do you even realize what you've done? The person who just walked into the president's office was the president of one of our most important business partners, you know.
Yes, I terminated the contract with them. It was awesome, wasn't it? I even told them, this is the end for your company, like a cold, ruthless CEO.
I got a call from the staff at the reception desk, too. And you know what? Even my patience has a breaking point. You have pushed me too far. So just know that I'll be seeking compensation from damages from you. Be prepared for that.
Wait, but it was just a joke. If the president just explains that it was all a misunderstanding, I'm sure we can fix this.
Just a joke, huh? So you thought it was funny to show a picture of you with Ari to our business partner, huh? You realize that to them you're now tied to my family because of that?
So, what does that mean?
What do you mean, what does that mean? Your blunder is now my blunder, too. You have ruined the company's reputation, and I cannot forgive that, no matter what.
No, but I'm sure it'll be fine, right?
I might forgive you for insulting my daughter, but I will never, ever forgive anyone who tries to harm my company. Never.
Wait, hold on a second. Is this really necessary?
Brace yourself. The damages I'm going to claim are going to be in the millions, no doubt about it.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to create a lasting memory, that's all.
Well, guess what? If I can get a huge sum from you in compensation, that'll be my memory.
No way. Please, wait. I'll kneel, I'll beg, I'll do anything you want.
It's all pointless. You should know that the one with the power always wins. So you managed to break off the engagement, huh?
Yeah, he really didn't want to, but in the end his parents stepped in and...
So he got disowned and left town, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be seeing him again anytime soon.
Honestly, you have the worst taste in men. What did you say again? He's a bit of a fool, but deep down he's serious and honest? Look at the mess he caused, though. How could anyone be that naive?
What happened with our business partner?
The contract was canceled. I explained the situation to them, but honestly, the other side is being petty about it. However, I'm making sure I'll get the damages from him.
I'm really sorry for all the trouble this caused.
You should be sorry. Your awful judgment put everyone in a terrible position.
But honestly, maybe it was inevitable. I mean, I'm your daughter after all.
But seriously, you've got to stop falling for these types of people. It's not just about whether they're charming or fun. Look at the big picture. A man like that could never have been trusted with your future.
Yeah, I know, but for some reason I always end up thinking the best of people even when they don't deserve it. I thought maybe if I gave him a chance he'd change, but, well, here we are.
You're too generous for your own good sometimes. I told you before, your heart's too soft. It's why you end up getting hurt. Now just take this as a lesson, trust the right people, and don't give anyone the benefit of the doubt unless they've earned it.
You're right. I'll take it as a lesson, but it doesn't make the sting go away. I really thought he was different, that he cared for me, but I guess the whole thing was just a game to him.
It's better this way. You're rid of him, and now you can move on. What's done is done.
I still can't believe he showed up in the president's office and did all that. And then he tried to act like it was just some kind of joke. How ridiculous!
You know, I don't think he ever realized how much he messed up. He's one of those guys who thinks he's invincible and can get away with anything. But now he'll learn. He's not going to get away with this one.
He's not even thinking about what's coming next. He probably believes that if he begs or apologizes, everything will go back to normal. But that's not how it works in the real world.
Exactly. The damage is done and there's no going back. Besides, the way he acted shows that he never truly respected me or anyone else.
I'm just glad it's over. The sooner we put all this behind us, the better. At least we don't have to deal with him anymore.
Yeah, and this time we're going to be smarter. We'll make sure no one else like him slips through the cracks.
You're right, I won't make the same mistake again. I'll be more cautious and I won't let anyone manipulate me again.
Good, you've learned from this. And next time, trust your instincts more. Don't let anyone make you doubt yourself. Rich was disowned by his parents and decided to leave town to live in a quiet life far away. It's quite a story, really. I've heard that he took on a significant amount of debt after being held responsible for damages to someone else. Now he's living in extreme poverty, far removed from the bright future he once imagined for himself. It's a tough situation, but honestly, it's hard to say anything other than it's the result of his own actions. He was quite an interesting kid in his own way, but when it comes to the troubles he's facing now, I can't help but feel like it's all a consequence of his own mistakes. There's certainly a bitter irony to it. Life doesn't always turn out the way we expect to, but sometimes it's the consequences of our choices that shape what comes next. As for me, I'm still continuing with my work as the company president. It's been a challenging journey, but I've found a way to keep moving forward. It hasn't always been easy, but I've managed to maintain my position and the responsibilities that come with it. There are days when it feels like everything is on my shoulders, but I'm used to it by now. Running a company, especially as a woman, comes with its own set of challenges, but I've learned how to navigate them. I suppose there's a certain strength that comes from doing what you have to do, no matter what the world expects of you. My daughter, on the other hand, has learned a lot from this whole situation. She seems to have reflected on the events deeply, and it's clear that she's become much more cautious of how she views others now. It's understandable, really. I think when you've experienced something like this, it changes the way you look at people. It makes you more aware of the signs, more sensitive to what's really going on beneath the surface. I believe that, as a mother, I can't help but feel a bit of relief knowing that she's being careful about who she lets into her life. Sometimes I wish I had been more careful when I was younger, but it's a lesson we all have to learn in our own way, right? I think the best thing we can do as parents is to give our children the wisdom and experience we've gained, but ultimately, they have to figure things out for themselves. If she's being more careful, then that's a good thing in my eyes. I've seen too many people get hurt because they didn't see things coming. Having that kind of discernment can make all the difference. It's not about being distrustful, but about being aware of the potential consequences of your choices. I think she's starting to understand that. I'll admit, I may not be in a position to lecture anyone about judgment. After all, I've had my fair share of mistakes and missteps along the way. I'm not perfect, and I've made my own choices that didn't always turn out the way I hoped. In some ways, I suppose that's the reality of life, isn't it? We all make decisions based on what we know at the time, and sometimes those decisions come back to haunt us. It's just a part of the human experience. In the end, I think what matters most is how we handle the consequences of our actions. It's easy to get caught up in regret, but the true measure of a person is how they move forward. I've seen people let their mistakes define them, but I've also seen others use their past to propel themselves forward, learning and growing from their experiences. I hope my daughter will be able to do the same. It's not easy, of course, life rarely is, but I believe in her strength and ability to navigate whatever challenges come her way. I can't protect her from everything, but I can provide her with the tools she needs to face the world head-on. At the end of the day, that's all we can do as parents, give our children the foundation to stand on their own. So even though things didn't turn out the way Rich had hoped, and even though the road ahead for him is probably going to be a tough one, I think he's learned a valuable lesson. He's facing the consequences of his choices just as we all do eventually. There's no escaping that. But there's also always the chance to rebuild, to start over, and to make something better out of the mess we've created. I suppose we'll see where life takes him next, but for now, it's just one of those situations where you can only shake your head and say, well, he brought this on himself. There's not much else to say about it, really. And while I don't take any pleasure in his suffering, there's a certain sense of closure that comes from knowing that people have to face the music eventually. As for my daughter, I'm hopeful for her future. She's learning, she's growing, and she's becoming more aware of the world around her. It's a tough lesson, but it's one that will serve her well in the long run. I may not have all the answers, but I do know that she is on the right path. I'm proud of her, and I'll continue to support her no matter what. It's not always easy to see our children go through difficult times, but I believe in her resilience. She's stronger than she knows, and I'm confident that she'll come out of this stronger, more capable, and more prepared for whatever life throws her way. So while Rich's situation is unfortunate, it's a reminder that we'll all have to take responsibility for the choices we make. There's no running away from the consequences, but there's always room for growth and change. That's what I hope for my daughter, and that's what I hope for myself as well. We all have our struggles, our regrets, and our moments of doubt, but it's how we handle them that defines us, and as long as we keep moving forward, we'll be okay in the end. Rich's decision to leave town and live in solitude was undoubtedly a significant one. It's hard to imagine what it must have been like for him to sever ties with his family like that, but it was a choice he made, and now he's living with the consequences. Being disowned by your parents is a heavy burden to carry, and I'm sure it hasn't been easy for him. But at the same time, there's only so much sympathy one can feel for someone who's reaping the results of their own actions. He dug his own grave, so to speak, and now he's forced to lie in it. When I think about what happened to him, I still can't help but feel that he was given a chance. A chance to turn things around and make better decisions, but he chose to ignore that opportunity. Now he's struggling with debt, living a life that is far from what he once envisioned. It's heartbreaking, yes, but it's also a reminder that we all have a limited amount of time to make the right choices before the consequences catch up with us. Time doesn't wait for anyone, and sooner or later, we all have to face what we've done. I've often thought about the decisions that brought him to this point. It wasn't just one mistake. It was a series of choices that led him to ruin. Taking on debt for someone else's damages is a huge responsibility to bear, especially when you don't have the resources to back it up. But Rich didn't think about the future. He acted impulsively, thinking he could handle the consequences later. Now he's paying the price, and there is no escaping that reality. It's difficult not to feel some sympathy for him, especially considering that he was once a bright, hopeful young man, with his whole life ahead of him. But I can't deny that there is a certain sense of inevitability to his downfall. Life has a way of catching up with people, no matter how much they try to outrun it. And in the end, the choices we make are what define us. Rich's decisions have led him to this point, and no amount of regret or self-pity is going to change that. As for my own life, I've had my own share of struggles as well. Being the president of a company is no easy task, and there are times when I question whether I'm doing the right thing. The pressure is immense, and there's always the fear of failure looming over me. But I've learned to deal with that fear, to push through the uncertainty and to keep moving forward. It's not always easy, and there are days where I feel like I can't take another step, but I've learned that resilience is key. I've also learned that success isn't just about achieving goals or reaching milestones. It's about perseverance and the ability to keep going even when things seem impossible. There have been months where I thought that I couldn't handle the weight of my responsibilities, but I've found a way to keep going. It's about being willing to face the challenges head-on, no matter how daunting they may seem. And it's about knowing that even when things don't go according to plan, there is always a way forward. My daughter has also had her share of struggles, but I'm proud of the way she's handling them. I know that she's learned a lot from what happened with Rich, and I can see the change in her. She's become more cautious, more aware of the people she lets into her life, and I think that's a good thing. Sometimes we need to go through tough experiences to learn how to protect ourselves, to learn how to recognize the signs of danger before it's too late. I think she's starting to understand that, and that gives me peace of mind.
I'm going to assume this is your phone number then, Piper? This is Gary's father, Barney. He gave me your phone number just a little bit ago, and that is why I'm able to text you now. There's something I'd like to ask you right now, before you and him get too carried away with wanting to get married. Would you be willing to give me a bit of your time right now?
This is Barney's dad? Well, you were given the right number because this is indeed me. I'm so happy to finally have a chance to talk with you, though. Go ahead and ask me anything. I hope that whatever it is you may be interested in, I can help you understand.
I heard that you happened to graduate from college and everything like that. Should I believe that to be a fact, then?
Yes, you should. I graduated from the Boston Tech, actually. I went there and got a bachelor's, but after graduating, I decided to work in the veterinary fields helping pets and other animals.
I see. Then that should mean there are no issues with your educational background.
I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you were wanting to ask me about today?
How were you raised by your parents before you entered Boston Tech? Of course, you graduated from high school and everything like that, but what was your GPA coming out of there?
So you want to know about my education before university as well? When I graduated from high school, I had a GPA of 3.9. That's partially why I was able to get into the university in the first place.
So that would mean you completed all of your studies and were able to put all of the knowledge you learned to the test in order to get into that university?
What do you mean by that? Of course I had to use all the knowledge I had gained from my studies in high school to get into college there. Did you think I had some kind of a connection or something? Nobody in my family had ever been there before me, nor did I have any friends there. The only thing that made me different from a lot of the other students that were accepted is that the high school I went to is managed by the university.
What? So you were bound to be accepted into the university? I wouldn't claim that you got into that school with your own strengths then. There's a chance then that a lot of the people you were going to school with back in high school weren't all too smart. Not something I'd be proud of if I were you.
What? I'm sure that could be true. I'm sorry if I was sounding arrogant in any way there.
So? Does that mean you've been going to private schools all your life?
What? Private schools? I'm sorry. But both the elementary school and middle school that I went to were public. And some could even argue that the high school I was going to was public. I was going to whatever schools were in the town I grew up in at the time.
What? So you're saying you were going to such low-level schools? It's one thing to be proud of the fact that you got to go to Boston Tech for 4 years and graduate from there. But if your time in primary school was all spent in a public school, I can't believe you would be all right saying something like that to me.
Is going to public school back then really something to be surprised about?
In other words, your parents didn't have enough money to send you to a private school? Or could it be that you weren't smart enough for those schools?
Hold on. Back in the town where I was from, there were no private schools besides the all-girls school, but I didn't really need to go there back then. Actually, the public school system in that town is rated as one of the top public school systems in the state. And everyone from there all went to the same schools together. We all stuck together from elementary school all the way to high school. That was normal for us. And I kind of thought going to public school was a normal thing for everyone.
I see. So that's the kind of family and town you were raised in. Are you still living together with both of your parents right now?
No, actually, when I started to go to college, I began living on my own. And I started to go out with your son not too long after, when one of our friends introduced us to one another. Since we've both been pretty far away from you and your wife, Gary's never really been able to show me to either one of you. And, well, now that we're out of school and engaged to each other, we thought it was time for me to finally go out and meet with you. Hence why we made the plans for me to come with him to your guys' house. Which I'm very excited about, since that'll be in a few days.
Is that right? Well, considering that you did graduate from a university that is pretty well known and are currently working for a company that is also pretty well known, I'll allow you to come over to our house and see my wife and I. But there are some things about you that I can't quite lay my finger on just yet. I have a lot more that I'd like to talk with you about when you come to see us, so make sure you're ready for some long discussions with my wife and I.
Okay. Then I'll make sure to get some rest then. I look forward to seeing both you and your wife in a few days.
You really make such big deals out of nothing! A little bit over dramatic, are we? Huh. All I did was give you a soft punch, and you've had to run off and hide in the bathroom? I knew that a woman such as yourself would not be fit for a son like mine.
That was a soft punch to you? My jaw has gone completely stiff now, and there's a massive gash on the inside of my cheek. There is still a bunch of blood coming out of my mouth, and the pain is really radiating into my skull. Why would you do something like this?
Why would I? I'm sure you already know why, right? You think I was going to let my son, the son of a family of well-renowned police officers, marry a disgraceful, motherless child?
I can't believe you'd say that. My dad has done everything he could to make sure that I was raised just like everyone else who still has their mom still. I don't think you should be talking poorly about either one of us.
Is it painful for you to be punched? Are you gonna cry and whine about how it was unfair of me to punch you like that? Go ahead, give your worthless father a call and bring him out here. Cry, Daddy, Daddy, help me. Tell him that you're in trouble with the police now.
Is that what you'd like me to do? So be it. I guess I'll give my dad a call. I'll make sure that he makes an example out of you, Barney.
Ooh, go ahead and call his ass out here right now. I bet all he's good at is using his body to work at some kind of labor-intensive job, right? Does he even have a brain up there? Go ahead and have him come out here, because I want to see what kind of muscular dumbass your father is. Just make sure he knows the moment he even tries to inflict any violence towards me, he's gonna get shot.
I think you should cut that childish behavior of looking down on others like that out right now. Oh, what just happened there? I am so sorry about. I never thought that your father would be... Oh, that your father would end up being the chief of the state police. I told your husband what would happen. That my dad would be coming out here to make a very good example out of him. Sure, my dad may be very large and muscular, but thankfully these days he's a bit more relaxed after having left the military. But did you guys not stop to think that perhaps my dad was the real deal and could actually do something about your husband's actions? I didn't think your father would be... I didn't think that the chief of the state police would be coming to our house today. As part of our family of renowned police officers, I am so happy to have him here. And thinking now that the daughter of the chief of the state police would be getting married to our son... Now that both my husband and I are aware of who your father is, we have no problem with you marrying our son. Please tell your father that we are looking forward to seeing him again and talking more in depth about your guys' marriage. Deborah, I don't understand how you can say such a thing like that now, after your husband just got taken away by the state police. Just as my dad said, all of your family who are working for the city's police force will now be relieved of your duties and forced to find other work. Do you understand what that means for you, Deborah? That means that you can no longer sit there acting as though you're tough crap just because some of your family has been on the city's police force all their lives. I'm sure we could do something. What my husband did to you, punching you in the face, was his fault as he didn't consult with anyone else before doing such a thing. The rest of us have nothing to do with his choices, so please don't let your father do this to us. To have all of us fired together like that. Oh, please tell me that he was just joking about all of that. You're making it look like the family never cared for your husband at all and are completely fine with tossing him out. But I saw everything, Deborah. The rest of you didn't step in to do anything about your husband when he struck me. You all just stood back and watched it happen. And you stood there smiling and laughing through your nose. And when I hit the ground and let out a scream, you started to laugh even more, before realizing that the blood from inside my mouth was falling onto your carpet. When you began to yell at me, not your husband, about the blood staining your precious carpeting, and what was it you said before I ran off? Don't stain my carpet with your dirty, low-life blood. You were the one that said that to me as I scrambled back up and ran off.
And as I wobbled left to right trying to make it down the hallway, you stood there laughing. Because then you were... Well, then you weren't the daughter of the chief of the state police to me. I didn't know any better then. I assumed you were nothing more than the scum my family arrests all the time and thought it would fit the atmosphere to laugh. But soon after, your father showed up in a state police cop car. That's right. He sure did make an entrance, didn't he? And when he stepped out to see how shocked all of you were from seeing my dad, I was entertained. I never thought that us humans could make such a face that could show just how scared we really were. Piper, of course I've learned my lesson, but so is my husband. That's why... Can you please go to your father and let him know that we are both very, very sorry for the way we behaved today?
Sorry for the way you behaved? Tell me, why would you be sorry for that?
I thought you both intentionally acted like that, knowing very well what you were doing to me. Because we didn't know at the time that my husband was punching the daughter of the chief of the state police. And due to our misunderstandings, we said some very immature things to you about yourself and your father. I want you and your father to both know that had we known you were his daughter, something like this would have never, ever happened to you.
Don't you find what you said just then a little odd? Does that mean if I weren't the daughter of the chief of the state police, your husband punishing me would have been warranted?
That's what you just said to me, right? That's why you thought it was okay to laugh at me after being assaulted and told me to get my blood off your carpet, right? Now wait. I said that was... My family is a family of renowned police officers, which means we wanted to make sure our son would be married to someone of a similar background. That's why when you said you were raised by your single father, we didn't think you would be a good enough wife for our son.
Is that right? Well, I guess everyone has their own way of thinking, don't they? That would mean that your family's way of thinking and my family's way of thinking are completely different from one another. Just like my dad was saying, you all need to be punished for your actions immediately.
Why, Piper? Don't you still love our son to the point that you want to marry him? I'm telling you that you're allowed to marry him now if you'd like. So shouldn't you be trying to flatter us in some way now?
About what I think about your son now? You're better off just forgetting that I ever was in love with him. I mean, that love I had for him waking up this morning is all gone now thanks to that punch your husband landed on me.
What? What do you mean by that?
I meant exactly what I just said. Did you see your son today doing anything to come and help me after my jaw was punched and I was bleeding everywhere? Tell me right now, what did he do to protect me from his mom and dad?
Did he do something for me even?
No, I don't think he did jack. Actually, the one thing he did do was smile and laugh along with you so that you guys wouldn't get upset with him.
He just acted like that because our family is very strict. And when it comes to his father, what he says goes. Which means if my husband wasn't happy with you at all, neither was my son. He knew at the time there wouldn't be a chance of marrying you anymore, so there was no need for him to help protect you.
And since that's the case, I don't give a damn about your son anymore. Now he's gone and really upset me because instead of even showing a little bit of care for me by asking if I was okay, he just stood there listening to and agreeing with you both. And right before your husband punched me, what did your son say again? What did Gary say? Why didn't you tell me earlier that your dad was a single parent? That right there really pissed me off, but I couldn't show that anger because the next thing I knew, my lights were knocked out for a couple of seconds.
There was no helping that. He was just as shocked as the rest of us were. And now you're saying that you won't marry him because of that? Are you really that picky of a woman?
Yes, I am, actually. Because if I were to go ahead and still marry a man which I know despises me, who knows what would happen between us later on? You really think I'm going to be that stupid? That's why I'm backing down from marrying him now. And thank God I learned about the true Gary now before it was too late.
No way. Oh, there's no way this could be happening.
Yeah, seriously. There's no way something like this could be happening. Getting punched in the face just because my dad is a single parent? And it's not like I was trying to hide that from anyone anyway. Nobody ever really asked about my parents, even Gary, so I never talked about them. And now, after really putting some thought into all of this, your son must have never really been into me that much anyway. I think he just wanted to marry because he's young and found me to be his easiest option after college. Oh, that's not true at all. Hey, we all share some roots in things like the police force, so you have to understand what was going through our minds, right? We can get over all of this together and act as though nothing serious ever happened. I think we can all laugh about this in the future, so please, Piper, find some way to go to your father and let him know that we're all sorry and would like him to forgive us. No. What you should have been starting with is an apology for punching me in the face. I was punched in the jaw by a man 3 times my size, and that threw me 5 feet into your wall and onto the floor. My jaw is still not able to move without serious pain, and the inside of my cheek is so badly cut up that it'll need some stitches. From what I can see, my jaw is probably broken, and that's why it keeps throbbing so badly. I'm telling you right now that I will be taking your husband to court and winning a settlement from him. I think what he did, he took things way too far then. But you were the one that never told any of us before that your father is a single parent, right? Also, you never told anyone about the fact that your father is the chief of the state police. There were plenty of very important things you forgot to tell us, or chose not to mention, that got us into this predicament, right? I can see here that I can no longer talk with you people. You people? I told you none of you ever asked me about my parents or about what my dad does. You all just assumed one thing or another and went with it, basing all of your choices off of it. And what the hell is so wrong with me not having a mom around anyway? It's a pretty common thing these days, so I would never actually try to hide it from anyone. It was just something that never got brought up. I mean, if you all really cared that much about someone else's parents, why didn't you start by asking me about them a long time ago? I think before you started any of this crap, you maybe should have wondered why you cared so much when your son isn't anything special. He's just your basic office worker, for crying out loud. You never saw my dad or I complaining about him, right? If you want to blame someone for all of this, start with your son, who's a complete idiot and never really showed any interest in my family in the first place. My dad is pissed that his only child was just punched in the face by a man who claims to be a renowned police officer. If my dad wasn't in a higher position than you all, I wonder how things would be playing out for me right now. For my dad right now. I hope that my dad does everything in his power to make sure you all learn from what you've done today. Now, if you all have any more complaints about what's happening next, take it up with my dad instead of me, please. I'm cutting ties to you all now and will no longer bother with any of you.
Long time no see, Piper. The reason why I'm talking with you again after so long is because I have something to ask from you.
Who are you again?
I'm your previous fiancé's father, Barney. I am sorry for all the troubles that I had caused for you back then. So very sorry.
And what would you like from me now? I have a scar across the bottom of my jaw and had to spend 2 months drinking my food. It was one hell of a time after that surgery. Have you finally found the courage you didn't have years ago that will allow you to apologize to me? After that day, I never heard anything from you about being sorry.
Ever since that day, I've felt so sorry for what I'd done and regret every bit of it. After that, I was forced to step down from my position on the police force and was taken into custody by the state police. Thereafter, I never had the time to ever get in touch with you again because I had so much going on myself.
Tell me why you're messaging me now, then. What could you possibly want with your victim of assault years after the incident?
I understand that it's been a couple of years now since all of that, unfortunately, went down. And that's why I would like to properly apologize to you now for it.
That's not at all why you're texting me, Barney. You just told me you had something to ask of me, right? A favor? I don't remember you guys ever being so well behaved, so of course there's something more to all this. So,
What do you want from me?
My son Gary, he was arrested for molesting someone.
What? Wait, are you kidding me?
It seems that he had this sudden impulse or something. He had always been raised to respect the law, considering his whole family is known for being in the police force. But after I was arrested, perhaps he lost faith or something in the system. Recently, I was always wondering why he seemed very off, like he no longer trusted anyone.
Absolute pile of trash, isn't he? I must have been in a really dangerous place going out with him and getting engaged to him. To think I was this close to becoming the wife of a molester. So I can see you got over your pride and managed to tell me that about your boy. What do you want from me?
Being arrested over something like molestation, that's something that is not taken well at all in this world. If he were to be charged with that in court soon, he would have that on his permanent record for life, and that would ruin any chance of succeeding in life for him. So I had thought that maybe somehow with the help of your father's power in... Do you think you could get your father to remove the charges that are being held against him?
Huh? You all really are the scum of the earth, aren't you? I'm not doing that crap for you. I won't, I can't, I have no reason to.
Don't say something like that, please, Piper. Just this. Please, just do something about this. I don't think my son did anything wrong to begin with. He was just trying to go out with you and make plans for marriage at the time. Had I never stepped in the way of that dream he had, then right now he'd be married to the daughter of the chief of the state police. My whole family of police officers would all be on top of the world with the help of your father's status. But because of the needless crap that I pulled years ago...
Well, what do you know? You seem to have finally come around to blaming yourself. Well, you're right. That is why everything in your life is all screwed up now. Had you never used and abused your name as a renowned police officer, then you all would be living pretty decent lives and not have to be worried about your son, the molester. I'm sure you guys would even be considered some of this state's finest.
And I don't think it's too late for us just yet. If you and your father help us here, we won't ever bite back at you guys like we've done before again. We will do everything you guys say, so please do something to help us here.
From all the crap I've heard coming out of your mouth, not one bit of it was worth my time. Also, I don't think my dad or I can see any possible reason to stick our necks out for you guys when there is nothing in it for either of us.
We can make something work. I'll make sure my son repays you both in some way.
We don't have a need for whatever your son has to offer us. Molesting someone is a very serious offense and will land him in jail, I presume. Why did you think that begging a stranger to help you bail him out of that would work in your favor? And why did you think something like touching another person's body without their permission was a crime my dad would be fine with overlooking? Perhaps it's because you're a prejudiced man that doesn't understand us women. But even if your disgusting son was pardoned from his crimes or bailed out by my dad, everyone would still know about what he's done, as it's on the news, and not a single woman would want to be with him. I just looked up what happened, by the way, and the girl Gary touched was 14. Do you know how scared she must have been when that happened to her? I think your son is going to either be paying her a lot of money for what he's done, or rotting away in prison for touching an underage girl, most likely both.
But it was really just a sudden urge.
And so what? I thought you all worked for the police here. Did you all just let robbers, killers, and molesters get away because they said it was just a sudden urge? He should not be forgiven for what he's done, that pile of crap. And you should be forced to suffer some more alongside him. I could send screenshots of this conversation to both my dad and the judge right now and see what happens to you.
My son has really learned that what he'd done was wrong, though. That's why, just this time, I'm asking you to...
I don't give a damn. That freak needs to pay for his disgusting crimes. That's how this stuff works. Sure, he may feel bad for what he's done now, but he has not been punished yet. And he won't be a changed man until that punishment has been inflicted upon him. And one last thing, if Gary was wanting to feel up another girl like that so badly, then maybe he should make some money and hire a prostitute. Why do you think there are women out there making so much money doing things like that? Because there are plenty of freaks like your son that need their fix.
No way. I understand. I get that my son is a freak now, but ever since that day your dad came to our house, we've been at a loss. My son was forced to get himself a new job working part-time, and his pride was ruined. And myself, I had to lose my job as a police officer and serve time for what I did to you. Without me, my son had to go through that hard time alone, and that's what led him to committing such a filthy crime.
Everyone goes through hard times, you dick. But not everyone goes out and molests others because of it. I don't care how hard it may have been on you guys, you all deserved what you got. So stop acting like you guys don't deserve all that you've gotten, because you are not the victims. You are all criminals that my dad has been working so hard to get rid of, and I will not step in and jeopardize his mission.
We didn't mean to. I'm really so sorry.
I really do not have the time to care about your bullcrap anymore. You all being complete idiots is not something I am responsible for. You all were raised to think that what you were doing was okay, so now you're going to have to deal with the outcome of your actions. I don't think any of you guys deserve to be on the street anymore, to be honest. Thinking that you are the victims of everything when it doesn't benefit you? I hope you and your whole family of scum go and rot in hell for the rest of the time. Gary quickly became known as the disgusting molester child of his ex-police officer family. His father, once respected in the force, was powerless to help him, leaving Gary to wait in his jail cell for the trial where he'd face the girl he touched on the bus. Around the same time, Barney, who had recently been messaging me, was dealing with his own issues. He had just gotten out of prison after serving time for punching me. His wife Deborah stayed with him but was forced to take on 3 jobs to support their household. The rest of their family cut ties with them after losing their positions on the police force. A few years ago, after being assaulted, I went to the ER for jaw surgery. That visit changed my life when I met my surgeon, who later became my husband. Unlike Rowan, he's a kind and supportive man who always has my back. Looking back, I take pride in my dad's high-ranking position, knowing it likely protected me from worse outcomes involving Barney's family. Their downfall serves as a reminder of how actions have consequences, and I am grateful for the stability and happiness I've found since.